Hey everybody, Motorboat 59 here. This is Inauguration Day, January 20th. And I did not watch the inauguration, and not because it was Joe Biden, but because I haven't watched an inauguration in 20 years or longer. I believe George H.W. Bush was the last inauguration I watched. Inaugurations are boring. They're full of promises that may or may not get kept. I just as soon see what's going to happen down the road as it happens. But what I did do is I went to the news websites, both liberal and conservative, a few times throughout the day, waiting with bated breath for all this violence across the United States at all the state capitals to erupt. But it never did. I knew it wouldn't, because the George Soros-backed BLM and Antifa and all those kind of people, they just set this one out. They are the ones who are responsible for starting the ruckus at the Capitol. There's no doubt about that. Did some weak-willed conservatives get involved in that? Some weak-willed Trump supporters? Yeah, they did, but they didn't start it. And there were, as I said in one of my other videos, tens of thousands of people there, and only about 50 people broke the barriers. I would imagine that probably at least half of those were the Soros crowd. Whether they're backed by Soros or somebody else, doesn't matter. They're all the same. They're clones of each other. I knew that the violence wasn't going to happen, unless it was instigated by the BLM, Antifa, Soros people. And as I said, I guess they decided to sit this one out. We wasted millions and millions of dollars putting 21,000 National Guard troops in Washington, D.C., and nothing even occurred. Not even almost. And if people are dead set against the inauguration, the election of Joe Biden and stuff, they would not have let the National Guard stop them from at least showing up and making noise. But they didn't. Even in California, the people who showed up to protest there, or whatever it was they were doing, I don't know, was peaceful. Nothing happened. Nobody was arrested. Nothing was damaged. It just goes to show you who the people are that are instigating these violent protests. And it's not the Trump people. It wasn't the Trump people last year. It wasn't the, what about the violent protests that happened, the Occupy movements during the Obama administration? Can I blame that on Trump too? The liberals, the progressives, the useless entitlement generation, they're the ones starting all this crap. BLM, Antifa, the Occupy people, they're the ones that started all this. It's easy to see. I know if you're a liberal, a modern liberal, or a progressive, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to admit it. I wouldn't either. I'd be embarrassed. As a conservative, I was embarrassed by the conservatives that ended up in the Capitol a couple weeks ago. It was embarrassing. I couldn't believe it, and I did a video about it. But I just wanted to touch on that. The media built this up like it was going to be some big explosion, and I'm sure that they hoped it would be. I hate it when I hear those idiots say, we're hoping that this doesn't happen. No, you're hoping it does happen, because that's what gets headlines. That's what gets hits on your website. That's what gets views on YouTube, is the violence. Nobody gives a rat's tail about peaceful protests. That's why nobody showed them. People said 94% of the protests over the summer were peaceful protests. Let's see any of them. Said that in my other video too. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email, motorboat59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. And we will see you all later.